Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. I hesitated because I actually like to just work with the different cycles and the different energies. But today we're actually going to talk about that Sun in Taurus. So happy birthday. It is your birthday month. It runs from April 19th until May 19th this year, and Sun moves into your sign at 10:45 a.m. on the 19th. So that is not good what just happened there. Okay, so that card that went flying, I'm going to have to go off screen to get it. All right, so I started to do your video, and what happened was it got really glitchy, and I'd already dealt out the cards, so I'm going to leave them, and hopefully you will trust me. And so that happened. So we'll just see how it goes. And now cards are flying. So we'll see what happens here. So what I'm going to do is couple of things. I want to thank you so much for all the well wishes, for the healing vibes that were sent my way. As I've been dealing with this virus, I am feeling much better. I slept a lot. Rip Van Winkle has nothing on me this month. But I'm still coughing, and so that will happen, and so I want to apologize in advance. So thank you so much for all of your support. If you will hit the thumbs up button, that would be really great. If you're a subscriber, and hit the notification bell and select all so that you'll know when I upload videos. I'm hoping to upload a video for the weeklies, getting back on schedule. So that's the plan. So here we go. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to as quickly as possible, go through, because there's so much happening with the planets, about what's going on with the energy, and give you a little bit of guidance on that for the month, and then your channeled message, and then I will follow that up with the cards that I have pulled for you. So couple of things that are really important. Venus rules your sign, and she's currently in Gemini, and she does not like to be in Gemini. So and then she's slowing down, and she's getting ready to go retrograde. She goes retrograde on May 12th, and she's there until June 25th. And so this is not a good time to start a new romance. This is a time when you'll see exes come back, and so you may be revisiting some issues with that. It is a time when you need to put extra tender, loving care into your relationships, the long-term ones that matter to you, that you are trying to make work. Watch out for endings can happen in relationships during this time period. Just, it can. And so watch out for that. Also, stay away from risky investments, as though I have to tell you right now with everything that's going on in the world, right? You probably already be like, yeah, I wasn't going to do that anyways. So then we have Mars is in Aquarius, and it's getting ready to move into Pisces. It'll move there on May 12th. This slower energy will really slow things down, but right now there's an opportunity to get a lot of Mars in Aquarius is happy. And so you might be feeling very motivated and working on stuff in and around your house or working online. We have the new moon that happens in Taurus on April 22nd, and the full moon happens in Scorpio on May 17th. And the North Node moves out of Cancer into Gemini on May 5th, but it's going to wobble back. We actually have 2 more eclipses coming up in that Cancer-Capricorn axis. However, if you have strong Gemini somewhere in your chart, the next 18 months you'll be having a lot of eclipses, or strong Sagittarius. Those 2 are going to be getting a lot of ticking off of the eclipse energy moving through there. So Gemini's Mercury, is moving very quickly right now. It's in Aries. It'll get into Taurus on the 27th, and then into Gemini on May 11th, and it doesn't end up going retrograde until we get into June. So click, 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 it's moving along. It likes being in Gemini, and so there's a couple of opportunities for that to be very beneficial once it gets there. So Pluto is going to go retrograde on April 25th, which is actually kind of nice, because it's a chance to catch our breath. All these changes, all these transformations, all these things that have been going on since January. Oh my God. And then we get to breathe. So this is Taurus, is the energy of Taurus, is that Empress energy of the planting the seeds and nurturing and growing, either financially or on projects, or literally planting seeds if you're a farmer. And there's all that energy, and there's been so much transformation. Everything feels really unstable. And so here's an opportunity to catch your breath, reassess, reevaluate. So April 26th, the sun is going to be in conjunction with Aquarius. That's a day where you might get a big breakthrough on something. Hopefully you see it coming, but unlikely. So hopefully it's a good breakthrough. April 30th looks like a really creative energy day because of where everything is placed. May 3rd could be really foggy communication and ideas, and so hold off. And if you need to communicate something until May 4th, which is a much better day because the sun will be in conjunction with Mercury that day. Then we've got Saturn going retrograde on May 11th. We've got Venus retrograding on the 12th, Jupiter retrograding on the 14th. I mean, they're just starting to go backwards, all of them. And then by the time we get out of the summer, we have a couple more that are going retrograde. So it is time to slow down and go over everything that's been shaken up. It's a chance to look at it, okay, and put the pieces back together. And I really think, and I will do a video on it, I believe. I believe that when we get to July, that's when you'll feel like things are starting to get going. So it's going to be slow and steady until we get there. And May 17th looks like a really good day. We've got Jupiter in a trine with the sun, and so that would be a good day to mark down on your calendar too. All right, so when I got into your energy, there was this mountain off in the distance. It was very early morning light. You were standing on a shoreline of a body of water. I think it was more of a lake than a river, but you had your toes in the mud, and it felt peaceful. And so you were very aware of all your senses. I could feel the morning air. I could hear the birds singing. The toes in the water was warm enough. So, but it was very contemplative, like just sitting there thinking. And so a couple of messages I got, rebirth is upon you. It's a new day, it's a new beginning, it's a new you, while the sun has moved into your sign. So yes, that makes sense, your solar return, right? Divine grace and the law of efficiency. So efficiency is something Taurus is really great about. You will be accused of being lazy. I have a Taurus sun. I have said this to him. God, you're so freaking lazy, right? Until he's motivated. And he's like, no, I just work smarter, not harder, right? And so you probably are all laughing because you're like, yeah. So this is a good thing, and this is being emphasized for you. And so it is the simplicity and the acceptance of, and it is the divine grace and trusting that, and the working smarter, not harder, that is really being emphasized for you this month. And then also the understanding that when a door closes, it needed to, and it's for your benefit. And so the acceptance of that, and knowing that the timing is working the way it's supposed to, having faith in that. So that is where that was. Okay, so interesting. With everything that is going slow, your overall energy is the antelope spirit. Life is speeding up. And so things may be falling into place for you a lot faster than for some other signs. Also, I think that a lot of times, it's that law of efficiency, the working smarter, not harder. And so you probably have figured out some things that need to be pushed through. Sorry about the voice there. Push through things that need to be like, I don't believe you're sitting around. And so when, as the rolling opening of the country starts happening, if you're here in the U.S. or wherever you are, all these lockdowns, they can't close us down forever, but they can't also throw the doors wide open. I think, though, you guys are still You are positioning yourself. Because it's the whole smarter, not harder thing. So if you've never been here before, this is past, present, future, thoughts, feelings, actions. The center card is the key to the situation, and there are cards here to clarify in the different areas, and I will pull for you a gemstone card, gemstone crystal card. So here you have time for a deep dive, the swan spirit. And so right now in your heart space, everybody's being asked, because the world has slammed on the brakes, right? And we're all being asked to take time to draw in, to pull within. And so things are going to be speeding up fast enough. So right now, while this is happening, while you have this moment to catch your breath, this is a good time to be noodling around in there, right? As to, okay, so this is how I feel about things, but why is this how I feel about things? This is what I've always done, but does that work or doesn't that work? How would it work better? What could I do in whatever arena of your life? This could be business, this could be relationships, right? Because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is about relationships and the beauty of relationships, and also financial issues. And so it could be something about that. It could be, it's in the house of you. So it could be anything that is really of significance to you right now. And it's the whole looking at the working of it, and what works and what doesn't work, and how can I make this work better? Okay, so this works, but maybe I can make this work more efficiently. And so now, due to the way things are, you actually have time to sit and think about it for a minute, and try to figure things out, so that when things get going, you're more in tune with where you're going. So in the recent past, on your mind, things you were thinking about, you were trying to get more information about, was you have the otter spirit. You are never alone. And so I think that sometimes Taurus works really, really hard, and they feel like nobody gets it. And they're out there and they're working hard and nobody else is. I've seen that happen, but a lot of times I feel that it's because you outwork everybody, and it's harder for other people to keep up with that. Even though you're just at a regular steady pace, other people don't necessarily, they're not so constant. They're start stop, or they have a different way of doing things. So there's that. But when I see the otter spirit, though, that to me that's more about relationships than it is about work. And you are never alone. And so I think so often Taurus wonders, do people appreciate all the time and the effort and what they give to relationships? Do people view things the way they do? Are they accepted, right? Because Taurus rules the second house. And the second house is self-value, self-worth, self-esteem. It's also finances. But when I see otter spirit, this is a self-value, self-worth, self-esteem. And a lot of times that reflects back to us, not what is reflected back to us, what we think other people are thinking about us, is what it may not be true, but we think, well, they don't appreciate me, but maybe they do, but maybe they're not good at expressing it. So whatever that is, you're never alone. There's that's a very lonely, in the past, being up in your thoughts kind of feeling that I'm getting from that. So okay, yeah, we're definitely talking about self-worth, self-value, and self-esteem, because in the area of transformation, you have the skunk spirit, which says know your worth. Know your worth. This is not, I want to feel worthy. This is, you are worthy. And why are you worthy? Well, because you are the divine spark of God. Right there alone, you are love. You were created from love. You are love. And everything about you is so worthy, right? So does that mean that you don't have areas of your life you need to work on? Of course not. But self-acceptance of understanding that you're not perfect, and that's okay. And nobody else is perfect, and that's okay. And a lot of times when you're looking at someone and you're like, I don't like this and this and this about that person, it's the things you don't like about yourself. And so when you can not be upset with yourself about those things, then other people not being good at whatever also doesn't bother you. And so knowing what you're worth is about loving the shadow and the light. The light's easy, right? The light part where we're good and we're efficient and we have all these skills and we know what we're good at. That's easy to like and appreciate. The key to being very self-confident and to loving ourselves comes from accepting that we're not perfect, and so it is okay. So, all right, well, that might be something you want to work on, this attribute that you aren't particularly fond of, but it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you inadequate or anything. It's just it's a new skill set. It's not a big deal. It's loving and accepting yourself for who you are. So, in the future, you have the Rhino Spirit from the area of thoughts, which is overcome any obstacle, which is very much Taurus's energy, right? It is, you can overcome any obstacle. Life is going to be getting a little faster here. I think for you sooner than for some others, but I think it's because it's really hard for you to take your foot off the gas anyway, as far as business and stuff, and you're being asked to do this deep dive right now into your inner workings of who you are. And so take the time out to do it now. Things are going to come along soon enough to move you forward. And when those obstacles come, you know you can overcome them. You can manage them. You are very efficient. You will figure it out. But don't forget, this is the rebirth for you. This is a rebirth phase of the new day, the new dawn, the new beginning, the new you. So in the recent past, you've been struggling because we have the active if card in the area of obstacles and things that are doubts. And so I feel like a lot of times you go out there and you act like I'm really confident, but inside you're not really feeling very confident. So the question is, why don't you feel confident? Like, you're acting like you're confident. You exude confidence. Everybody thinks you know everything, but inside you're like, I don't really know. I'm just going out there and I'm acting like it, and hopefully it all works out. I'm focused on this and I'm going in this way. But the truth of the matter is that when you act as if, when you fake it till you make it, you actually make it, because you are. So exuding confidence, even if you don't necessarily feel it, will create more confidence as you go along in life, because when you exude the confidence and you take the action steps that other people might be timid and afraid to do, but you're like, oh, I'm just going to do it because I'm acting confident, and then it's successful, then that energy builds within you and you become more and more confident as you go along. So in the area of the heart, you have time to let go. And I don't think, okay, for some of you, this might be time to let go of a relationship, but mostly I feel like this is time to let go of the self-doubt. This is the time to let go of the I don't know if I'm worthy energy. This is the time where you get to really and truly open yourself up and allow yourself to love. Because if you see, he's holding a heart. It's time to allow yourself to love yourself. Let go of your doubts and your insecurities, and look at the people in your life that love you and why do they love you, and say, oh, wow, that's part of my self-worth. I really, Taurus, don't doubt your incredible nature and capacity to love. You love others. Love yourself. The capacity for self-love opens the door to very rewarding relationships. See yourself as the magnificent individual that you are. Most people recognize it and see it in you. The necessity here is that you can see it in yourself. So in the recent past, you have, in the area of obstacles and difficulties, you have the armadillo spirit, which is set healthy boundaries for yourself. And so where have you been trying to prove yourself worthy to other people and giving yourself away, right? So I have a really good friend that is a firefighter, and he's Taurus, and he volunteered at 2 different firehouses, 2 different counties. He volunteered, and he was a farmer, and he had a trucking business and a real estate business, and blah blah blah. And anytime anybody needed something, we'd call him up. Hey, can you help? And he'd ride into the rescue, drop whatever the heck he was doing, and come and help. And one day he said, I just got home from a fire. I'm exhausted. I need to sleep. And I thought, good for you. He said no. And it was so good for him. And in that moment, I thought, so good for you. I will figure this out on my own. And I did, which was also good for me. So setting healthy boundaries. Saying, no, that's too much. You know, I need time for me. I need my own downtime. And so you have Crow Spirit in the area of action right now. You have co-create with Spirit. So know you're worthy. Know what you're worth. See yourself as Spirit sees you. See yourself as other people see you. They see you as this magnificent being because you are. Do the deep dive into yourself and open up your heart and let go of your self-doubt and start loving yourself. And in the future, it says tend to the small things. So that seems really odd with the rest of this message. So I needed something on that. So tend to the small things. I feel like this is tending to the small things in you. I think you manage all the big things, right? You handle all the big responsibilities. You make sure that everybody has a roof over their head, and then if their car needs to run, that it's running, or, you know, that if you need to get to the grocery store, you do all the big things. But I think tending to the small things would be about you taking care of you, is what it really feels like. But I just want... So, tend to the small things. This is be generous of spirit. And I think setting those healthy boundaries, taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, and understanding that the lion is the most self-confident, right? So be generous of spirit. Be confident in yourself. Be confident in who you are. Know that your value, right? So your self-worth is that lion, this generosity, this ability to take care of yourself. Oh, I just thought of, you know, that story of the lion, and the lion's all tied up, and it's the mice that come and chew, or it had a thorn in its foot, and the mouse removed it. So it's the small things and the big things at the same time. There's balance to be found in that. So in the area of thoughts, you have the cougar, assertive. In silence, you find power, claim your leadership role, take action. You know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and the confidence to succeed. And there we have the lions showing up there. Here, you know, it's a cougar, but it's the same thing, right? You have the courage and the confidence to succeed. Believe in yourself. Act as if. Co-create with spirit and trust in who you are. Know what you're worthy of. Know what your self-worth is. So here we go. Yes, new beginnings and healings. Now is a time for you to give and receive healing. Everyone has a natural ability to heal others, even you. And the fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. So, with all this lockdown time, I think there's going to be a lot of procreating that was going on. So for those of you that is applicable to, congratulations. But this could be the birth of a new idea. This could be the birth of a new way of looking at yourself, of loving yourself, or a business idea. So, in the arena of actions to take, you have accept happiness and good fortune and find new ways of problem solving. Find new ways of problem solving. Tending to the small details, things are going to get fast, but I think it's a new way of looking at yourself. It's that time for you to whoa, did that freeze? It is the time for you to look at yourself in a different way and see and appreciate all the parts of you the way other people do. So let the love in for yourself. All right, let's get you a crystal card. Now I'm talking really slow today. It's the best I can do. Oh, nice. You have the Peacock Copper. I confidently show my true colors to others. I am fabulous, right? I am fabulous. They really want you to understand how fabulous you are. So just tell yourself this every day. So write this down and tell yourself this all the time. I confidently show my true colors to others. I am fabulous. People look at you and they know you're fabulous. So let that be the mirror that comes back to you and you go, wow, they think I'm awesome. Because I am. Not because you're fooling anybody, but because you really are. You're awesome. So, all right, that looks good. So on the back, I don't know, I never read these, but it just popped into my eyeballs. So here we go. Improve optimistic outlook on life, increase happiness, feel confident and comfortable, embrace the ability to be in the spotlight. You can do this. Have a great birthday. The sun is shining on you. You are in the spotlight. You can do this. You can do this. You can really love yourself the way the world sees you, the way the Creator sees you. All right? You take care. I will see you on Monday.